How's it going, Dreki? You have any spare batteries? I have all kinds of batteries. Beep. Oh, I'm sure Dreki meant something specific. Beep beep. Don't be rude. You did mean something specific though, right? The lesser intern forgot to charge their body. His body ran out of battery. Oh no! Well, that's an easy fix. Boopy. No, Yar is not a Doltus 9000 for that move. Everyone forgets things. I keep a few spare batteries around for just such occasions. Bowler is terrible at remembering to charge up. There you go. Just run that back to Yar, and they should be back to work in no time. Beep, beep, beep. Maybe remind them to charge up next time. Oh, the hand has something to sign. It's Barry! How is that mechanical arm doing this cycle? How is it going, Barry? Must be going good! Do you have a performance review? Evidently not. Seems like that's a good thing. Must be nice not having to worry about that stuff. Keep it up, Barry. Nice. Really feels like some kind of friendship is blossoming here. Well, time to run it back. Make sure to do all of our conversations along the way. Alright, well, none of them got nothing to say. Oh, the receptionist has something. Oh, Dreki. I heard you're going back to court this cycle. That's exciting, huh? I am? Oh, you haven't gotten your assignment yet. Well, I already heard. You're going back to court this cycle. Although it sounds like you might get your pick of the case this time. Exciting, right? Although the last time might be a lot to live up to. So dramatic. That Stephanie Strangelet was such a character. And Quad. I was riveted, to be honest. Not just to the floor. You read my piece? I did. I thought it was pretty good. Still can't compare to my legal dramas. But that said, your story did scratch the itch a little. Often too busy to get caught up on my shows. But I can take time to browse our own hollow pages. Do you watch Goo of Justice? Of course I do. I just wish it wasn't so short. Having to wait a whole season only for Gulonius to get sucked down a drain pipe? There's cliffhangers, and then there's disrespecting the audience. Oh, but don't get me started. I'd talk your listen holes off. You need to get your assignment. Hey, Wawa, and I will get my Wawa. Thank you. Ooh, the existential oak has grown. The existential oak sprout has a tiny and concerned looking face. Its brows are furrowed bark. Seems lost in thought. Still no swirling psychopodian. Just a lone bubble. Odd. Dreki, we need to talk. I must say, You brought some life back to this place. I suggest you keep it up. Or else. Or else what, punk? Punk? I'm nobody's punk. You are the punk. Such disrespect for authority. More the system I see, the less guff I take. I appreciate the attitude. You might have a little security body in you, Dreki. Just don't try to take my job, or I will destroy you. Metaphorically speaking. And also literally. Stop talking to me. Get out there. Garden deserves to grow. Okay, so nothing with them this cycle. How's the cafeteria? Oh. Dreki! Look at this place. It's really coming back into bloom. Hey, you're the reason why. It's true. I have been collecting seeds. Haha. Well, thanks so much for that. I'm so happy to see the garden coming back to life. The garden was blooming. I can really relax. Helps me take my mind off the daily stresses, you know? Even the more existential ones, like living up to my name. Whenever it all starts to feel a bit heavy. You cycle scraps in here, I'm as good as new. For a little while, anyway. Call it my green time. Guess what I'm really trying to say is, and my personal thanks for caring about this space. Neat. This looks a little... No, it bloomed last time. Greetings, Dreki. As you see, I've been forced to join the rabble. Look at this menu. Wanting. Debased. You never eaten the cafeteria? I have been banned from bringing my own food. After the highly misunderstood and unfairly maligned incident of my lunch with the eels. Thank you again for your help in recovering them. So what do you eat for lunch? Knowing the fascistic limitations of this menu, no choice but to order the chilled sediment and grunge mountain filings. At least with the sediment there is some opportunity for richness of flavor. Does indeed be procured from the Gringe range. First up, moans, long and low. Oh, but my station is base. Enjoy your sediment. I wish to be alone. Do not know how one survives these subpar tastes. And you, what slop will you partake of today? I'm gonna have the mac and bees. Ugh. I suppose the can has to eat. I'll leave you to it. Worm dog and fries. Everyone loves worm dog. Mac and bees. The bees are real. Stop asking about it. Ooh, magnesium spark treat. Okay, okay. Ooh, and some churn sediment. Dreki! Hello, hi. You're looking well. And great news, if you weren't to be looking so well, for example, you could do something about it. We just want medical care. And they're sending a medbot here. That's amazing. It is amazing. You're right. We only had to give up. Vivica fidgets around. Incoherent muttering. Did you just say incoherent muttering? No, I didn't. I said. Vivica twists her blazer into knots. Finally, she speaks. Gravity! We had to give up a bit of gravity, okay? The ship's gravity regulator costs quadrillions upon quadrillions of bucks to our employer every calendar phase. You're willing to be pushed for medical care. We just gave away a bit more gravitational pull. Not so bad, is it? Who needs gravity anyway? Am I right? It's just holding us down. It is, granted, an insubstantial amount. Pouring from the water cooler might be a little more unruly. We had to have the bidet disabled. Just told we hardly noticed the difference. So far, that reflects my own experience. But I feel so guilty, Dreki. I don't want the workers to have suboptimal working conditions. You did the best you could. Yes, it is true. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Let me know if you feel unnaturally light, okay? Because we can help with that. We have medical care now. Woo! What about you, Cook Beast? What do you think? From verge for verge, the glitter is their dust. The gyres of a universe astir. Okay, Cook Beast. Nice to know. I have an important question for you. Do you have any quantum investments? I have not invested any bucks at all. Finance does not concern me. Fair point. Choosing journalism really does show that financial gain is not your priority. I'm researching quantum investments for a piece. Haven't even gone deep yet. My preliminary findings are alarming. Investing in one of those trendy superposition accounts. Your money has all values simultaneously. Might sound good. As soon as you try to make a withdrawal, the value's suddenly zero. All of your investment gone. Stolen. They are unregulated accounts. Grifts would be better name for them. Don't do it. Hopefully this article saves our readers future grief. That's very kind of you, Sherwin. Oh, this is not a kindness, it's a duty. The people need to know the pitfalls that are out there before they fall into them. Intern, read this. Bowler has a letter from Abner Zoll criticizing a lackluster article. But it's addressed to the Dorp dealer, not TNG. I wrote this. Abner Zoll is me. Directly criticizing the dealer is considered unprofessional. Or so Ursula tells me. So I do it this way. Why criticize them at all? Because they're actively and frequently malicious. Reflects badly on our entire profession. It's so hard to get, intern. We'll think on it. I won't. We talked to the... Did we already go in here this cycle? Yes, I did. Alright. Finish our side quest, save, and then decide on which trial we're going to interview. Here's your batteries, bud. Hey! Did you get it? Yep. Here's your battery. You actually got it. You swap out Yar's battery. Immediately, their body powers back up and jerks to life. Thank you. No, you could have... Excuse me. No, you could have just left me. Probably what I would have done, honestly. Why did you help me? It's only fair. So you'd owe me one. I want to be friends. Fair? Ha! You're not gonna make it here with that idealistic attitude. Yar pauses for a moment, looking away. There. Well, thanks anyways. I guess. Now I need to get back to work. Alright, Sun. Let's go ahead and save. Okay, can't go in there. Holy, am I glad to see you, Dreki? Vivica is out sick. I need you to head back to court. You offered up 3 potential stories that might be worth covering. Up to you to choose which is most important. Call it a test in news judgment. Let's hear about them. Famous zeal separating from themselves. Augur caught joyriding in Central Station tubes. Trial of Clarence Finspar. All right, so I think it's left or right. So what's this? Ever heard of Finch Spatix? They were an intersolar pop sensation and a triple threat to boot. Apparently, now that they've decided to separate themselves, creating 2 zeal named Fancied and Hexes. Letters of their name were divided in an earlier out-of-court agreement. The pair are still fighting over some property that Finch Spatix solely owned. What's my options? Clarence Finspar. You may remember that defendant in this case from the curriculum announcement. Frequent protester Clarence Finspar has finally crossed a legal line. Apparently on trial for public mischief and libel. Started telekinetically distributing rant-filled pamphlets in a public place. Gonna be a doozy. Readers do appreciate a follow-up. Have fun with this one. Do not get silly with it. Okay, so... Is that a bug? I didn't get a choice to accept it or decline it. Okay. I guess we're doing that one. Reader Responsitron has new messages. First new message is titled, Quiver Still article gave me quivers. Billy Bold's article, High Octane Quiver Still Finals. Enter 13th cycle of silent tension. It's clearly written by someone who truly understands the sport. It's not for everyone. From one fan to another, Mr. Boliday, I see the passion in your words and respect and admire your coverage of overlooked sports like this. Regards from a fellow fan, Scorton Flankerton. Or Flankern. Ooh, another new message. Bring back Foodbot's column. Why'd you cut Foodbot's delightful and surprising culinary column? So their attempt at robo-humanian fusion recipe led to hospitalization of dozens. Culinary progress demands risks. I miss learning the many ways that batteries can be used to season a dish. Editor's note. Batteries are not meant to be consumed by anything other than robos. Please do not eat batteries if you are not a robo. They are lethal to organic life forms. Hungrily yours, Eatbot. No new messages. Fine. Guess we'll head to the dock. Whee! Punch it! The Trial of Clarence Finspar. Okay, that's annoying. Yeah, I do have all those people I can talk to. Okay, nothing else is lighting up. Order! Order! Right Honorable Operable Judge Bot presiding. Lawrence Finspar. You'll face charges of public endangerment, reckless telekinetic discharge, and making people drop food they were about to eat. These are severe charges, particularly the last one. How do you plead? You're guilty. You're all just fools. And this trial must proceed. Do you swear to tell the truth, every little bit? Even the teensiest little morsels of honesty in the name of a true and fair trial? Well, I'll tell you the truth. Tell you nothing but how wrong you all are. The defense may now begin. Thank you, Your Honor, but Clarence, take us through that fateful afternoon. I just want to share my thoughts. The public place? People didn't like it, they could leave. And Share Clarence did. With the fine people who happened to be in Mealtime Square, popular lunchtime gathering place. That's all he did, folks. I ask you, Honorable Judge Bot, isn't sharing caring? Do we not gather in places like this to bask in communal spirit? Shouldn't we all, in fact, be more like Clarence, not less? Who is really on trial here? Can anyone prove that my client was the one who made them drop their food? Perhaps this was a conspiracy against my client. The defense rests. That is the extent of your case. Do you wish to submit any evidence for your claim of conspiracy? No, thank you, Your Honor, but I believe the connection is clear enough on its own. Very well, prosecution. Very well. Prosecution, you may examine the witness. Thank you, Your Honor, but you're welcome. Mr. Finspar, could you explain how you shared your thoughts? Well, I wrote them down on pamphlets, and I gave them out. How did you give them out, Mr. Finspar? Clarence Finspar says nothing. He just looks at his hands. Did you use your hands, Mr. Finspar? I did now. Those watching from the gallery let a collective gasp, beep, or burble, depending on their species or serial number. He used his telekinetic abilities to bombard the lunchtime crowd with a terrifying cloud of pamphlets. Good lunch-loving people were forced to turn meals into defensive weapons or abandon them and escape. One of the darkest cycles that Mealtime Square has ever known. Mr. Finspar, why did you ruin so many lunches? Why did those people ruin my life? They all needed a wake-up call. Realize how rotten this weird future space alien society really is. How do they just sit there and eat their lunches, doing nothing? What they needed was my pamphlets. And what of their lunches? Their lunches mean nothing to me. Another collective gasp, beeper, burble from the gallery. Order! Order! Order.biz/ in the court. Thank you. Shocking. And yet, it isn't for Mr. Finspar. Mr. Finspar has shown a clear pattern to his behavior. His public protests are increasingly dangerous. To us and to our lunches. No further questions, Your Honor Bot. The prosecution rests. Very well. Since this is a Judge Bot only case, I will now deliberate. We will now recess until the verdict has been finalized. Bathrooms and tank cleaners are just down the hall. Let's deliberation begin. That's my uncle up there. I'm Blossy Finspar. Where's the rest of the family? Oh, those bridges were burned a long time ago. Family doesn't even really talk about him. I do, though. Miss how he used to be. Didn't used to be like this. Uncle Clarence is really fun and caring. Fly me around the living room with his powers. He called it playing when. When I got my powers, talked about how to properly use them. You have the same powers? Not like his. His are telekinetic. Can move things with his mind. I can read minds. Sort of a recessive gene in our family. We're the only two who have abilities. Maybe that's why I'm here. Always felt a little extra connected to Uncle Clarence. Does the rest of your family appreciate your powers? Not really. Really don't like Uncle Clarence's powers. Everything really went south when he ruined a family picnic. Before that, there'd been little hints of something was changing. Random mean comment, blaming others for mistakes he made. Making a big deal out of small stuff. Then at the picnic, he started arguing with Dad about something and it got heated. He used his powers to flip the picnic basket. He arranged charcuterie down on Dad's head. No, not the cheeses! Those cheeses did nothing to anyone! That was the last time Uncle Clarence got invited to a family event. He doesn't want to apologize. Clearly, he hasn't stopped weaponizing delicious food. So here we are. You think your uncle can be redeemed? I hope he gets the help he needs. He could be more like he used to be. I think that's all I want to say for now. Bye. Greetings, Robo Citizen! I am Armand Orbum, Education Minister of the Solar Government. What an interesting trial. What did you find interesting about it? Well, the solar government cares about the well-being of all its citizens. My particular interest is somewhat personal. Mr. Finspar has interrupted several of my governmental announcements. I've grown concerned for his mental and emotional well-being. Interrupted how? At first, he protested quietly, picketing an announcement of new sexual education curriculum, then began to escalate. Louder, brasher demonstrations. Then the use of his powers! Telekinetic damage to my government-issued slide projector. Now, publicly used his powers against living beings, which has crossed a threshold for legal intervention. I am not bothered that Mr. Finswar's displeasure is public. My issue, he seems increasingly unstable. That what began as protest now seems to be a cry for help. I'm relieved to be at his trial. I hope his sentence reflects his needs. Why didn't you intervene sooner? Government intervention is a delicate balance. Too much, and citizens rightfully feel intruded upon, unable to live their lives as they wish. Too little, and harm and strife become common. I will say that Mr. Finswar has been on our radar for a while. And for that reason alone, we've kept him in our sights. Solar government keeps tabs. Chilling. Overlook is saying, Arjun, I am doing pretty dang good. Cora, I hope you're having a good evening. We're just having some silly voices and exploring fun stories as a reporter bot. What do you think the outcome of this trial is? It's an ill taste for a government figure to speculate on the fate of a public trial. All I will say is that I hope it is rehabilitative in nature. And this is all I should say on the matter. Good cycle, citizen. Happy to answer any questions you have about my client, who, after my spirited defense, should soon be walking free as a bird. A bird that chooses to walk because they can. How long have you been a lawyer? Oh, a long time. I went to law school immediately after my naming ceremony. In other words, long enough to understand what a court needs to hear. To really understand my client's side of the story, the facts speak for themselves. My client was simply sharing an inner part of himself. And sure, maybe he was a little over-enthusiastic. But aren't we all a bit much sometimes? Isn't my client simply relatable? As a scam? Incorrigible, even. You have convinced me. Did he make a bunch of people drop their lunches? Can you really prove that my client made them drop those sandwiches? That their hands weren't slippery on their own? That wasn't part of a flash mob dance sequence? Which my client is now being made to take the fall for. Flash mobs are illegal for a reason. But those that still commit them find all sorts of scapegoats, blaming others for their heinous public dance crime. Clarence basically admitted it on the stand. Incorrect. What did he really say? They all needed a wake-up call to realize how rotten this society is? That's hardly an admission of guilt. More of an expression of frustration. A frustration we all share. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to work on my victory remarks. Looking forward to seeing on tomorrow's front page. Sure, buddy. Sure. What about you, Bailiff Bot? Hello. You may not approach the bench. Judge Bot is currently in deliberation mode and would be unable to comment directly on a case in progress. For reasons of fairness. However, I, Bailiff Bot, can answer many of your justice-related questions. How many cases have you been part of? Hundreds. All Bailiff Bots share data in an encrypted cloud, meaning we are all equally experienced. If Judge Bot is the mind of the law, Bailiff Bots like myself are the arm. We keep these courtrooms safe for all. We are tasked with ensuring all legally denounced actions are We are tasked with ensuring all legally denoted actions are undertaken and enact court orders both large and small. I am programmed to find all of this thrilling. And I do, because of that programming. In every case that comes before the court, all evidence and context is carefully considered and assessed by JudgeBot or the Zeal jury permanently sequestered in these tubes. Justice is always served appropriately. So what are the charges in this case? The specific charges against Clarence Finspar are as follows. 1 count of public endangerment, 5 counts of reckless telekinetic discharge, 1 count of unlicensed pontification, and 31 counts of destruction of lunch. Now, I am programmed to feel that I have said an appropriate amount of information to a journalist, which means you must now step back from the bench. Thank you for stepping up to it in the first place. May you appreciate the remainder of this case and the court process around it. This is one of the pamphlets that Clarence bombarded the crowd with. The page you can see includes an all-caps screed about the solar government's mandated benevolence and sick rule of compulsory compassion. The pamphlet includes a list of things that get too much credit, which appears to include noise, children, being clever, most jokes. Alongside the pamphlet is a scientific study on Clarence's telekinetic powers. Apparently it measures an 8.2 in the kineticism scale. What a fun fact. Evidence B. Foods that people dropped, abandoned, or otherwise gave up on during Clarence's attack. Sandwiches will never know the eager, loving bite of a warm mouth. Unless they're reclaimed after the trial? Unlikely. That detail will haunt you long after this trial concludes. Terrible cry. Before we chat, please understand, any statements I may or may not make do not reflect the broader opinions of the legal system, or my client, who, this cycle, is the people of the DORP system. How long have you been a lawyer? For exactly 807 cycles, which has translated to 287 cases, of which I have won 202, giving me a win percentage of 70.4. They gave me very good at my job. What happened to the 85 cases you lost? Flukes! Mathematical inevitabilities. If I won every case, either I would be a true genius, or our justice system would be fully and truly compromised, which is far less heh. But this one seems absolutely obvious. Defense seemed quite confident in their case. Yeah, they certainly made their case. A glass, flimsy, transparent, breakable. And you can put that on the record. I'm sure Pritza will say something similar about Why me? That's a bit of a typo. She talks a big game, but let's just say she rarely bests me in court. What do you think of Clarence Finspar? I think Mr. Finspar is a misguided individual. One who stopped listening to others. I look forward to helping him. Through victory over him. Which I should start preparing for. When the verdict is announced. Enjoy seeing justice prevail. Automated proximity message. Thank you for approaching the bench. JudgeBot is currently in deliberation mode. Deliberation is approximately 12% complete. Hey, we've met. For the curriculum announcement. You're on my side, right? You didn't let me go. You know I'm a good guy. Tell him that, or else. You've been charged with a crime. Kinda sounds like you did do something. I did nothing wrong. Nobody was listening to my speeches. So I shared some of my writing. Sharing is caring, isn't it? Especially when everyone else needs their thinking rearranged. I was doing everyone a favor. Everyone needs their thinking rearranged? This whole galaxy is rotten. I'm just trying to make things better. For you, Newton. I'm speaking truth to power through journalism. Ah, good riddance. Journalism, just another way they lie to you. Control you. I'm done talking to a liar like you. Leave me alone. Okay. Alright, let's go to phase 2. Sit down and wait. Deliberation is approximately 99.9687% complete. Deliberation is okay. Okay. 100% complete. Opening trial_end.exe. I have reached a unanimous verdict. In the case of Mr. Finspar versus the people of Dorp, specifically, the charge is of public endangerment, reckless telekinetic discharge, and making people drop food they were about to eat. I found the defendant guilty on all counts. You're all fools! Fools, I say! I have decided your sentence shall be mandatory counseling and support. Right duration as long as is required. Till you are no longer a threat to others. No. No! I don't want to change. Then you shouldn't have ruined so many lunches. Bailiff bot, take him away. No! Clarence is removed from the room, and Judge Bot retires to their chambers. But then everyone else is still here. Get some reactions to the verdict if you like, or exit the way you came in. Well, that's that. Afternoon in the court really connects you to the issues of contemporary society. Feel that every official should watch court regularly. Makes abstract struggles into concrete understandings. Help you serve the system better. Why don't more officials watch court? I believe most feel it is too much effort for the potential benefit. This is a job of juggling many engagements and obligations. But I make time. I see it as a way of understanding the real issues and bringing our citizens to court. You understand an issue. The first step towards addressing it. Must now go. The rest of my cycle calls me. My books! But you're still standing there. Flossie is absolutely giddy. I'm so relieved. Now Uncle Clarence can get the help he needs. Maybe start acting like my uncle again. Read his mind as they were taking him away. I think, deep down, he's a little bit relieved too. This is really good result. A terrible wrong has been done this cycle. Innocent man, cage. Want to rest till he is free. You seem very committed to this case. Yes, in addition to my looks and my legal skills, I am known for my compassion, especially when cases don't go my way. Sometimes the will of the people gets incorrectly aimed. Some little piece of irrelevant so-called evidence ruins their ability to think clearly. Here it was those lost lunches. But so it goes, onward to appeals court. Wait, I start my vacation next week. Maybe some wrongs will never get righted. And that's okay, as long as I know the truth. Aha. Maybe later I'll file an appeal. I'm not too busy. What about you, Bailiff Bot? Okay, nothing from you. Hello. I'd like to offer you a comment. This was my 203rd legal victory. Feels as good as the first. It brings my win percentage to 70.7. That rounds up to 71%. A very good cycle. Congratulations on your legal victory. Thank you. I represented the will of the people as effectively as I could. This cycle, that proved to be effective enough. The important thing is that real justice was served this cycle. This troubled man will be rehabilitated until he no longer threatens the lunchtime of any beings. This is why the system exists: protect and support. Like a cup. The people have been protected. The culprit will be supported in their rehabilitation. It's a win-win-win! The third win is for me, too. Alright. I think that is everyone and everything. Okay. Why does that say 0 out of 10 thoroughness? Is that like there's nothing missing? That doesn't seem right. Unless that just means there's nothing I can interact with, in which case I don't know what I was missing last time for interaction. Okay, so lunch saved. Sandwich crime. No. Okay, let's see. Shoves Dreki to the hero. No, Carlos! I don't have arms. I can't take it off. What are you doing? Leave me alone. I hope you're doing well this evening. I am trying to build our story for this cycle. All right, I think this is a good one. Having soup? Ooh, what kind of soup? That sounds pretty superb. All right, let's read off our news.
Lunch safe after Finspar convicted. Known provocateur and a nuisance, Clarence Finspar was accused of telekinetic discharge, causing several people to drop food they were about to eat. The defendant evidently had a history of ruining meals, even before this lunchtime attack. This troubled man will be rehabilitated until he is no longer threatens the lunchtime of any beings, said Stilk, the examining one of the prosecution. The defendant's niece explained that Clarence once was a caring and supportive uncle.
Alright, sounds a little disjointed, but eh. Another story successfully written.